Hello everyone, there's a new patch and they finally nerfed the War Factory. But is it enough? I haven't played this new patch yet, but from the looks of it, I don't think it's enough. The HP debuff is quite drastic though, so that might make the War Factories unusable in like forcing the factories, I mean. They are not unusable. The production is pretty weird because I think from the top players I have the most experience with the war factories. I've been building them a lot. And I think many others would disagree, by the way. But I think the sledgehammer production is by far the best technology for the war factory. And it's only a very slight nerf to it. And the steel ball production is the worst technology. And it has got a huge nerf. And the Phoenix production, I only use it to counter air units. But it doesn't really matter how many Phoenixes I got, it just matters that I have something that shoots in the air. So I don't think the production nerfs are that big of a deal, actually. But the HP debuff is quite a huge one, so we shall see. And also it's kind of weird because people try to counter the factory with acid scorpions and with melting points, and in those scenarios the HP doesn't matter that much. You just get the range upgrade and you outrange their damage, so nothing will hit your factory. But maybe it's enough in combination with the small nerfs to the production. Not quite sure yet. But if it was me, I would have decreased the range of the factory by maybe 15 or 20. Or maybe even limit the amount of factories you could build, like put a cap to it. Maybe that could be a little bit weird though to the gameplay. All in all, I would like for them to rework the whole War Factory unit, not try to adjust its technologies and statistics. Just rework the whole thing. I think it's a really bad design. It's either too weak or too strong in its current form. There's no in between, I think. And then the rate. I think this is the experience required for upgrade increased by 25% is quite a strong nerf to it, but all in all I think this is a buff to the rate because the movement speed is really important and it also defines the rate's role better. Like essentially it's an aggressive Vulcan. And the movement speed is very important to the rate. And it also seems that it loses a lot of damage when the animation is, like the gun animation is coming out. He's pulling his guns out and then retracting them back inside. So it feels to me like it loses a lot of damage that way. But with the high movement speed, it's always in the front and in the range of everything. So the animation doesn't happen that often, I guess. Then the Scorpion. Yeah, it's kinda defines the role a little bit better. Like for me, the Scorpion is not a long range unit. It's like a frontline tank. And field maintenance, for example, is quite good on it. And it makes sense for them to nerf the HP a little bit and increase the movement speed. And the Scorpion is quite strong in the free unit patch. And this kind of changes also depend on what they're gonna do with the free units. Because the Scorpion is quite a bad unit if you don't get it for free, I think. Because it has a lot of problems. Like inherently you want it really early in the game. late game it usually isn't that strong anymore because there's like you can get boats very easily or stuff that counters it. So you want it early in the game. But if you build it yourself early in the game, the enemy can just build a boat next turn and you insta-lose the game. But with the free units, when you get it for free, it's very strong because it counters like Sledgehammer, Steel Balls and Vulcan early on. And the Ion Blast, this was kind of a surprise to me, but now that I think about it, it's pretty strong. I wonder if they changed this also because of the free units. Because it's quite strong against Overlords and Wasps especially. Not so much against ground units. Or I don't know. Maybe it's a good nerf. Now that I think about it, I buy the Ion Blast quite often. Like maybe 85% of the time, 80% of the time. While some other spells that I think are pretty good, I maybe buy them like 30% of the time. So maybe the Ion Blast is just too good. So it makes sense. But also this whole patch, by the way, this was it. Everything is here. The whole patch is kinda lagging behind. I think the War Factory nerfs should have happened like a month ago or like 1.5 months ago, and now there's many new problems. For example, I think Overlord is so broken. Like the photon is very broken, launcher Overlord is the whole unit is just very, very broken. You can climb a lot in the ladder by doing like only Overlords with any kind of front line. Like Overlord, Sledgehammer, Overlord, Rhino, Overlord, Wraith, Crawler, whatever, only Overlord. I think this kind of weird that they are not changing anything about the boat. For me, the meta looks, well, I guess they are adjusting like half of it, but for me the meta has only 2 tactics right now. It's Mass War Factory is one strategy, and the second strategy is just any kind of boat push. And you cannot do basically anything else. If you are not doing those 2 strategies, you are just losing. So there's only 2 strategies to do in this game right now. And now they are addressing the War Factory, but nothing for the Overlord. Yeah, it was quite a small patch, so nothing to talk about really. And I guess the free units are here to stay. There's no info, nothing. Yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching.